They were the only U.S. civilians killed by the enemy. Who were they? Welcome to Hidden History with Frank Strickland. Thank you for watching.
And now for a story of quiet devotion, of a beautiful spring day and a tiny piece of silken paper that traveled the world with a deadly secret. A story, my friends, that ends with a single, tragic footnote in the grand, bloody ledger of World War II. It was 1945. The world was at war, but in the timber-rich, quiet lands of Bly, Oregon, a young couple was simply trying to save souls. Meet Reverend Archie Mitchell, born a Nebraskan farm boy, a man whose entire purpose was the gospel. He had studied at Simpson and Nyack, a man of God through and through. By his side, his wife, Elsie Winters. Her childhood was a smell of sawdust and the ring of saw sharpener's grindstone, her father's trade. She, too, had a calling. A graduate of the Simpson Bible Institute, they had married in 1943, ministered in Washington, and arrived in Bly in early of 1945. They were building a life, a future, and Elsie, she was 5 months along with their first child. May 5th, 1945, a Saturday. The church was having a picnic. Elsie almost stayed home, heavy with child, feeling the springtime weariness, but she went. The spot was Gearhart Mountain, about 13 miles northeast of town, near Leonard Creek. The perfect spot for a pleasant afternoon. Reverend Mitchell was parking the car. Elsie walked ahead with 5 of their Sunday school children. And that is when they saw it. Something strange, something round, something made of paper and silk tangled in the woods. It was a balloon. Now, Archie Mitchell, a man who kept up with the whispers and rumors of wartime, he knew. He heard the scuttlebutt about strange objects found on the West Coast. He instantly recognized the danger, and he screamed. A desperate, terrified warning across the clearing. "Don't touch it!" But children, the irresistible curiosity. Those 5 children, and his pregnant wife Elsie, they tugged at the strange object. And that, my friends, was the catalyst. The object was no toy. It was a Fugo balloon bomb, one of the estimated 9,000 that had been launched from Japan. An ingenious, desperate measure. Hydrogen balloons, 33 feet wide, carrying 4 small bombs, designed to ride the jet stream 4,000 miles across the vast Pacific Ocean to sow fear and disruption on the American homeland. Japan's retaliation for the Doolittle raid, a weapon of sheer psychological warfare. When they tugged, an anti-personnel bomb detonated. The explosion was immediate, devastating. Elsie Mitchell, pregnant with her first child, was killed instantly. The 5 children, ranging from ages 11 to 14, were killed alongside her. Archie Mitchell rushed to the scene. He found his beloved Elsie tragically on fire. He found the children's bodies mangled, a scene of unimaginable, solitary horror in the Oregon woods. The U.S. government, desperate to prevent public panic, and crucially, to deny Japan the knowledge that their weapon was actually working, immediately clamped down on the news. Initial reports merely spoke of an explosion of unannounced cause. It wasn't until weeks later, May 22nd, that the War Department officially confirmed the origin. And so, this tragedy on May 5th, 1945, near Bly, Oregon, became the sole documented instance of an enemy-inflicted civilian casualty within the entire continental United States during all of World War II. But the story doesn't end there for Archie Mitchell, a man of a remarkable, almost unbelievable resilience. He would later marry Betty Potska, the old sister of 2 of the children killed, Dick and Joan. And in 1947, he sailed for Indochina, now modern-day Vietnam, to continue his missionary work. His service to God continued until March 30th, 1962, when Reverend Archie Mitchell was taken captive by the Viet Cong. Along with 2 other missionaries, he was marched into the jungle. None of the 3 have ever been seen again. Occasional letters were allowed out until 1969, and then nothing. He is officially presumed dead. Today, a monument stands in the Fremont-Wainema National Forest to commemorate Elsie and the 5 children. and nearby a ponderosa pine still bears the visible marks of the shrapnel, a silent, woody witness to a day a weapon from a foreign shore found its mark in the heart of America.